Well, hello, loyal viewers. Today, I think I'm going to do CreepyPasta. It should be fun. I've actually read this one before because when I have spare time, I sit around and read creepypastas. It's just what I do. And this one, okay, you're gonna. The name of it is just awkward. Not to mention the actual context of the story is awkward, but it's supposed to be awkward because the whole thing was posted to 4chan, for God's sake. And as we all know, 4chan is, well, 4chan, the single most insane place on the internet. So, the title of this is called the Six-Legged Rape Centaur. And yes, you did hear me correctly, rape centaur. Yeah. Okay. So I'm probably going to read this word for word. It is kind of long though, so some of the bits I might summarize. But here we go. Six-legged rape centaur is a name given to a bizarre-looking, unidentified creature that somewhat resembles a centaur from Greek mythology. It appeared in the following eyewitness account posted by an anonymous user on 4chan on November 2008. Okay, so, and from time to time I'm going to go a little off track and just say what I think here. Okay, so basically this does, just from the little opening bit here, give me off red flags, because 4chan is full of insane people. Why would anyone believe this? Second of all, it's 4chan, for God's sake, so that's probably where it got its name from. Okay, as I was going. I'd like to start off, and yes, I'm reading word for word again. Okay. I'd like to start off by saying that I don't have a clue why I'm posting this on, and I've never used 4chan in my life, so I'm going by what I read here. /x/ or really at all. Maybe I'm afraid of dying or something. The events described in this story happened a month and a half ago in Shenandoah, West Virginia, although I typed this up about 2 weeks ago. I just haven't really had the guts to post this until what happened yesterday. The story starts in late September when my family went to go visit our relatives who invited us up to celebrate one of them, Desiree, getting like $2,000 and some scratch-off lottery thing. I live in this really crappy part of Shenandoah. The people from Charlestown, Shepherdstown, and Ranson, basically the least rednecky parts of West Virginia, like to call Squalor Holler. Okay then. It's way up on the mountain and exactly like how everyone pictures it when they hear about it. Nothing but ramshackle shacks, rusty rebuilt trailers, everything covered in decades-old Christmas decorations. Because they're all too busy being smelly rednecks to ever clean up. Okay, first of all, this person seems to have a real prejudice to country people. I don't, so don't think it's me. It's this person who posted this on 4chan. And, yeah, whatever. Okay. Real deliverance type crap. Just no rivers or canoes. The relatives we were visiting are absolutely confirmed inbreeders. All cousins screwing each other. We don't refer to them as aunt, uncle, whatever, just relatives. Not terrible people or anything, just absolutely cartoonish, depressing hillbilly stereotypes. So anyway, we're up in this godforsaken trailer. It sucks. There's like 8 of them, plus me, my dad, my mom, and my sister. About 2 hours in, my mom takes my cell phone so that I can focus on family time. Oh, sorry, gotta pull that in. Family time. Which is crap. All we did the whole time was eat TV dinners and be forced to watch NASCAR. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. The fact that he portrays these people as cartoonish is another kind of red flag, because no one in real life is ever that cartoonish in any type of depiction. There are people who are close to being that bad, but there's never anyone that bad. Because it's a stereotype. It's not actually supposed to happen. Or am I just being too optimistic about life? Okay, going on. After like 6 hours of this, about 10 minutes before we're supposed to leave, it starts raining. It starts raining. We know how treacherous the roads can get up on the mountain, so we decided to wait for the rain to die down. Flash forward 2 hours later, it's dark as hell, 10 o'clock, and there's a flood warning for the area. I have my phone back by this time, no reception though, of course. I'm playing Tetris and Texas Hold'em and stuff, when suddenly I hear my dad start losing his mind in the next room. I walk over and it turns out they let slip that they'd buried their kid, Thomas, outside and apparently were afraid the rain would wash up his body or some other crap. Gonna stop again here. This is, again, completely ridiculous. No one, not even a redneck from the most country part of America, would even think of burying their child in their backyard. No one. Not even the poorest people in the world. Because that's just kind of cruel. I mean, they could go somewhere else down the mountain and, like, sneak into a graveyard and bury him there. Or, heck, even on the side of the road with a little cross. No one in their right mind would bury them in their backyard. Especially in a place that would have flooding and could the body wash up. That's ridiculous. Okay. The kid was like 6, he was attacked by a dog, and they never told the cops. Again, ridiculous. Just buried him like he was a family pet. My dad's flipping out, and rightfully so, because, you know, we live in the 21st century and all. So relatives all say they'll sort it all out in the morning. Parents tell me and my sister to stay in the same room as them during the night, and we do. None of us really suspected that they'd killed Thomas or anything, since they were really peaceful. They didn't even own any guns aside from this old-timey double-barrel shotgun they had on the mantle. Nevertheless, we were creeped out and intended to tell the cops in the morning once we got to town. So it was like 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Power had gone out for the 5th time or so. And I'm not able to charge my dead phone. Worst part is, I could see Thomas's little grave right outside the window. Okay. So you're telling me when you first got there, you didn't notice the grave and you didn't ask what it was. But when you get in there and you're about to go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning when most people can barely open their eyes, you notice it specifically. Specifically, you notice a little grave out there that you didn't notice when you're wide awake walking into the place. You told everyone it was a small place. There's like 8 of them living there, and you 4 staying there. And you just now noticed this, and it's not that big of a place. Okay, I'm just gonna grab it. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay. Little cross on and then everything, and I assume the kid couldn't have been buried deep at all since they were so worried about him just washing up out of the grave, so I just fixated on it. Kept being drawn to look out the window, and then I saw the worst thing in my life. Something was creeping through the trees toward the house. I stared at it for a while, but couldn't get a good look at it, since it was raining and the brush was so thick. For a few minutes, I assumed it was 2 really pale horses kind of ambling through the woods side by side, but then it walked into the moonlight and I saw it was all one thing, like a kind of human torso but wider. It finally stepped into full view and I saw it had something like 6 legs, kind of somewhere between a beetle's legs and a horse's legs. 2 arms right where someone would normally have them, but they're about a half foot longer than any normal man's arms. He had a bald head, but the face looked like some sort of bizarre masquerade ball kind of mask. Clenched up, furrowed forehead, and a nose that looked sort of like a crow's or a raven's beak. It didn't have eyes either, just the depressions where eyes would go. It looked like it had a human mouth underneath its nose. For some reason, this, what I'm assuming to be a teenager, used a big word, which it works, but a teenager would never use this word. They use the word proboscis. Can you name one teenager you've ever met who would use that word? Okay. What still strikes me to this day is it seemed to have a penis, too, right on the abdomen where the normal person's penis would be. The thing moved sort of gracefully. Okay, I've got to stop for a second. I'm sorry. But out of everything you just mentioned, you specifically mentioned that it had a dick. Really? 4chan, people. 4chan. Okay. The thing moved sort of gracefully and made the soft thumping noise when it moved. It must have been like 7-8 feet tall, but sounded like it weighed maybe only 150 pounds at most. It starts walking towards Thomas's grave, and then I finally snap out of whatever trance I was in and just scream. My mom is the first to wake up, and I tell her to look out the window. She rushes over, doesn't really seem to understand what she's looking at. After a minute, though, the thing bends down and starts pawing at the grave with its hands. My dad and Jasper rush in, and Jasper just loses his mind, screams like a little girl, runs back out of the room, yelling for his father, yelling, "It's outside, it came, and it's outside." I look back and see the thing is digging furiously at the ground, kicking up huge amounts of dirt. Okay, another thing. You just said it must have been a shallow grave, and now there's huge amounts of dirt on top of the body. Gotta kind of stick with your story there. I hear the sounds of feet running around the house. I think they were looking for the shotgun. The thing reaches into the hole and grabs up what I assumed to be was Thomas's body by the legs in one hand. The thing kind of gallops back into the woods, snapping all these branches and crap. And then that's when we all hear it. A kid crying. The sound of a crying, sobbing child from the direction that the thing took off in. We left as soon as the rain let up at like 5 a.m. I don't even think we told anyone at the house. Drove straight back to Ranson, only stopping for gas. No one said a word to each other. My family refuses to speak about what happened. I tried to bring it up once just to make sure it was real. My dad told me to shut up, so I did. I typed this up about 3 weeks after it happened and just saved it to a notepad file and left it alone. Never mentioned it to any of my friends or anything. Just tried to erase from my mind, getting absolutely drunk whenever my thoughts lingered on it. Okay. Gotta stop again. So you're a teenager, you see this weird thing, and you automatically assume, hey, let's start drinking absorbent amounts just to forget. Can you name another teenager who would do that? Who wasn't, like, physically abused or something? Okay. It mostly worked up until yesterday. See, I worked this gas station in Ranson from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. I worked the register, keep the place clean, and take out trash. Yesterday, when I was bringing the trash bags over to the back of the building for the dude in the morning to take care of, I heard what I had assumed to be some junkie messing around at the dumpster. I yelled at whoever it was a couple of times to get the hell out before I called the cops, but as I walked towards the source of the noise, I suddenly heard those same footsteps. That soft thump, thump, hooves or feet or whatever the hell they were. I turned right around, went back in the store, and hid behind the counter. I look over at the outside security monitor and see some kind of movement just off screen, something huge casting a shadow and moving. Catch a glimpse of, I don't know, an elbow or something, a pale limb darting out in and out of view. It had to have been the same thing. I waited for it to leave, and after a while it did. I woke up behind the counter at 6 a.m. this morning to my manager giving me this look like I'm a drug addict or something. Went home, typed the rest of this up, and that's about it. Okay, well, that was the six-legged rape centaur. Well, along with the creepypasta I printed out here, there's a picture of it. Have a look. Yeah, pretty scary, right? Well, in my opinion, this was an adequate creepypasta, I guess. There are just a few things that just made it seem ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Like, some of the things this guy was doing and saying just didn't really add up. But I guess I'm a nitpicker, and that's just me. So yeah, rate the video, comment the video, whatever. If you want to see more creepypastas, suggest some. This is just one I had picked out from the wiki. Yeah, that's about it. If there are any creepypastas you want to recommend, like I said, comment, tell me, do whatever. And that's about it. I'll probably post more stuff later. Okay, thanks.